Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Gurley Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Leighton. We have Brigitte, Cueter, Carino. All these are coming up and more. Afterward from our sponsors, please stay with us.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Heavy rains caused the Binalbagan River to overflow in Moises Padilla in Negros Occidental. Some motorcycle riders had to use a hanging bridge to cross. Flood waters from Cabarutan Bridge reached neighboring houses, submerging vehicles and businesses. Many residents say they were unable to save their belongings as flood waters rose quickly. In Baybay City, Leyte, students occupying the dormitory of Visayas State University were evacuated. The area is prone to landslides during heavy rains. In Tabango, Leyte, roads were flooded due to non-stop rains. Motorists were forced to wait for flood waters to subside. Barangay Bigara in Calbayog City, Samar was also submerged. Some roads in Antique were inundated. This includes the National Highway in Sibaste. It was the same scenario in Cebu City, where around 200 individuals were affected. The southwest monsoon also brought wet weather to Occidental Mindoro. Low-lying areas in Aroroy, Masbate were also affected after a nearby river overflowed. Even Puerto Princesa City, Palawan, was not spared. In Cagayan, the local government unit is busy making preparations since Crising is expected to make landfall in their area. Sea trips and flights were already canceled. In Isabela, a liquor ban and a no-sale policy are being implemented due to Crising. Malacanang assured the public that government agencies are ready to help affected residents. The Disaster Management Council has also bumped up its alert status from blue to red due to the possible effects of the storm. The alert status means all duty officers from the Armed Forces, Fire Department, Coast Guard, and National Police are now required to render duty at the agency's Operations Center in Quezon City. The palace also assures the public government agencies are well prepared for the effects of the storm.
Opo, meron pong mga direktiba ang ating Pangulo sa mga concerned agencies. Katulad po ng NDRRMOC at nagko-conduct na rin po sila ng pre-disaster risk assessment at nag-activate na rin po yung Virtual Emergency Operations Center noong pa pong July 16, 2025. At patuloy pa rin po ang pagmomonitor at pagbibigay po ng mga advisories sa mga stakeholders sa ating mga kababayan. Pati po dito ang DOST, Pag-asa, ganoon din po. May continuous weather monitoring and provisions of weather updates to all stakeholders.
Crising is expected to make landfall either Friday night or Saturday morning.
Retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio has criticized at least one question raised by the High Court in a recent order regarding the House impeachment proceedings against Vice President Sara Duterte. Among the court's orders in a July 8 resolution is for the lower chamber to submit information and documents on whether Duterte was given the opportunity to be heard regarding the evidence supporting the articles of impeachment.
The moment the House approves a resolution by 1/3 of its member, nakalagay doon, the resolution becomes the articles of impeachment. Wala nang hearing because the opportunity to be heard is now in the Senate. Where does it appear in the Constitution that VP Sara has a right to be heard at the plenary? Wala. I do not agree with that question. That's why I said, well, that one is an overreach.
Carpio believes the only material question in the SC order is whether the House of Representatives was able to act on the verified impeachment complaints within 10 session days. He is not expecting the High Court to issue a temporary restraining order against Duterte's impeachment trial.
You usually issue a TRO if there's a clear violation of a law or a constitution. I've been asking around and it looks like that the House did comply with the 10 session day rule.
La Union 1st District Representative Paula Ortega gave assurances the House will comply with the Supreme Court's recent order. But he also asserted the trial should proceed as mandated by the Constitution.
Kung ano man ang utos sa atin ng Korte Suprema, kung ano man ang mga kailangan nila, magko-comply naman wala namang problema doon. Pero sabi nga, klarong-klaro naman po sa ating saligang batas na the impeachment court is an entity on its own and the Senate must try, no matter what.
Ortega also clapped back at the office of the Vice President on Thursday after its spokesperson claimed that the country will be able to save billions in expenses on the impeachment trial against Duterte if the SC rules against it.
Baka kailangan nila ng matrix saka cost-benefit analysis. Siguro hindi naman naabot ng 612 million yung gastos sa impeachment.
Honorable Vice President.
Among the impeachment charges against the Vice President is a supposed misuse of 612.5 billion pesos in confidential funds, which she previously denied. But even before the impeachment court reconvenes, Senator Ronald De La Rosa said he will raise the question of jurisdiction before the 20th Congress Senate.
More or less, 29. You expect that to be presented before the plenary by this humble representation. Jurisdiction is very important. It has to be settled first.
Several groups supporting the impeachment complaint against Duterte, meanwhile, are planning to stage rallies on July 22nd and July 25th to call for the trial to begin immediately.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
ViaTimes, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. ViaTimes for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. ViaTime has very interesting columnists. You name it, ViaTimes has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call ViaTimes at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting, very pretty, and very amiable person. And she was on our show before. I had already interviewed her. So she might look very familiar to some of you. And her name is Paula Arnedo. Paula has moved from Chicago to New York. And currently she is working, or she's devoting part of her time on a company named BuildOn. Okay. So Paula, I bet even our viewers are not very familiar with the BuildOn. Yeah. Just like me, I can tell you the truth. I really don't know the BuildOn.
Yeah.
You can explain to our viewers.
Yeah, for sure,
what
Tita.
BuildOn is all about.
Yeah. No, I first of all, I wanted to
thank you and your time, for allowing me to be on the show and just to kind of open the minds of people about BuildOn and just introduce the company and what I do personally for BuildOn. It's a nonprofit organization. It's based here in the US. It started in Stamford, Connecticut. It was built or founded in 1991, so 34 years ago, by Jim Ziolkowski. So it's kind of a similar or a typical story for those founders of nonprofit organizations. They start in the corporate world, and then they kind of like get introduced and get touched or moved by different stories all over the world. And similarly with Jim, he founded BuildOn in 1991. So he began his, I don't know him personally, just as a fact, but I wish I get to meet him someday. But he started his career in corporate finance at General Electric. I'm sure a lot of your viewers are familiar with it, GE. And then he founded BuildOn. So BuildOn really is, it focuses, and its mission is on breaking the cycle of poverty and illiteracy. So it has two core programs here in the US. So first is the US Service Learning Program. So it's operates in different high schools in different cities here in the US. So there's one here in New York City in the Bronx. So me personally, I've spent some time there, visiting the students and just relating with them in different activities. And for example, like a shelter and doing arts and crafts with the students. And then they're also in Chicago and Detroit, Oakland, and California, and Boston. And then the other program is the Global School Construction Program, which really is, they send groups of people to different underserved communities in different countries, in Senegal, in Nepal, in Guatemala, Nicaragua, and all over the world. So really, it's as I said, it's really to raise awareness in education and literacy, and hopefully in the end, address poverty in these countries.
So what is really your direct responsibility?
Yeah. So really, I just got introduced. So I have my day job in finance, and I got introduced to BuildOn through my job. So we've been supporting BuildOn in different ways, volunteer work. We donate, obviously, monetarily, but also our time and efforts. So me personally, I volunteered to be part of the school construction program in Senegal. So they do treks, they call it treks, but really they're school building programs, a week long, sometimes longer, in different countries. So in August, I'm joining a group of, I believe, 12 to 15 people from New York City and some from the East Coast we'll be going to Senegal, and we'll be doing manual labor of, like, mixing the cement and really building the school, because they said, I'm not really, familiar with all the statistics in Senegal, but they own, the kids there really just go to open lands or like do schooling under the trees. So they don't have a physical school, or they don't have enough physical schools to accommodate all the kids there. And what's nice about it is that most of the students, or it's 50-50. So boys and girls are kind of being served equally in Senegal. And that's one of our goals there. So yeah, my main role is really for this track to make it a successful one, and hopefully, build a good school for the kids out there.
So doing manual labor,
yeah,
going to a remote place and doing manual labor just to build homes and schools. This is all about it, right?
Yes, yeah. And then more than building the schools, we also, or Build also has a lot of activities here in the city and in all those cities I mentioned. They have local communities here who kind of do the planning, and it's really just to raise awareness on education. And yeah, as I said earlier, for example, here in the Bronx, if someone cannot really go to a remote country and do all the manual labor, you can volunteer, spend some time. Even on Zoom, we organize sessions for the students just to introduce them to different aspects of to raise awareness on poverty and literacy and all those more education focused is what we're aiming to do.
So, Paula, how do you raise awareness about this specific project?
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah. I think, yeah. Yeah, for me, Tita V, it's really, I think social media is a big thing. We've been utilizing all sorts of social media just to promote this trek and this cause. But also, I think, and more than social media, it's really the word of mouth. People seeing how BuildOn has touched lives, and yearly at work, since we support BuildOn at work, we've been invited to different galas and activities and events, and you can see really the work that BuildOn has done for the schools and the students in different countries. So I think really witnessing it firsthand and being able to be in Senegal for me will be a huge part for me to raise awareness later on. I'll be able to really tell my story, what I've seen in Senegal, and raise that awareness to my coworkers or to friends and just to any acquaintance, and hopefully them as well will be able to get involved, not really going physically there, but also spreading the word on BuildOn's cause and mission.
Great, terrific.
Yeah.
How long have you been devoting your time to this cause?
Yeah, good question, Tito V. I also asked my question for that, because remember before, I'm really into the restaurant week and in Chicago, like I was really involved in the Filipino community, which I still am. I'm not really letting go of that part of me being very invested in the Filipino community. But I think really getting introduced to BuildOn and really seeing how much change they've really done in the past 34 years. I've been kind of moved by the stories of people. So I've been so blessed, not probably as blessed as other people, but I really wanted to share my time and what's a week of my year, right? To go there, even though the flights are expensive and I might be faced with some medical issues. I just got my yellow fever vaccine, which is a requirement to enter Senegal. So all these risks, I think I also take into consideration. But I think more than that, it's really helping those people, those kids, and I think it will also be helpful and more eye-opening for me than for the kids out there, or maybe equally as eye-opening. So I'm really excited for this school building trip to Senegal.
Well, what I can say is you are such a brave soul. Really.
Thank you. Yeah.
For your trying to help other people who live in other countries, and just to help them, see them live in a home or
right. Yeah. And yeah, Tita V, I just wanted to add, on top of the manual labor, we're building the school. We're also staying with the host family, so there's like the cultural aspect to it. Not really just exerting effort there. But really, we're staying with the local families, which I've never done before. So I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, and we're staying with the local family, and they'll show us how women, make livelihoods. So they might be making soaps or doing pottery or all these things. So in the morning, we'll do the school building. And then in the afternoon, we'll be exposed to what they do on a day-to-day basis. So it will be, as I said, it will be eye-opening for me. It will be, I'll see how they work over there, how they live, and which is so different from New York City and Chicago, So I'm super excited about that part as well.
An amazing experience,
Yeah.
learning culturally,
Yeah.
new language, and
Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tasting their or how to cook
Local food. Yeah. Yeah.
food, and amazing. God, that's really amazing.
Yeah, I know. And I leave in 3 weeks. So I'll be going August 3 to 9 of this year. So hopefully, Tita V, I get to talk to you after. Hopefully I'll come back, safe and in peace.
I would like to see it again.
Yeah, I'll tell you more about it. Maybe I can share pictures to your viewers as well, and to you. And how how it will change me personally.
Write the story and send me some pictures for ViaTimes.
Yeah, for sure, Tita. Yeah.
And that will be nice.
Yes, I'm excited.
I know. Just I have not done this thing, but I know the feeling of being able to help other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Something.
I'm sure you do. You do a lot of philanthropic work. Yeah. And I remember, like, back in college in the Philippines, I would do a lot of these too. So now I'm thinking, like, looking back, it's always in me to, volunteer and do all these stuff. It's just part of who I am. And, I think being exposed in the Philippines as well, it's not as poor probably as Senegal, but, seeing that firsthand in the Philippines as well, it's like, this is a way of me giving back to the community. Maybe not just in the Philippines, but in some other way, in some other place.
Oh, terrific. You're a wonderful person.
Thank you. I'm trying my best to be.
You're a Wonder Woman. Yes, okay. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, if you hopefully you'll have time for me to come back here and share my story, just to again raise awareness, and hopefully even one of your viewers could be interested in knowing more about it. I'd be super happy. But yeah.
Terrific. Take some good pictures. And
I will.
Keep us posted. Miss Paula Arnedo, Vice President, BuildOn, right? Okay. And what you call your expedition is you go on tracks.
Yes, on tracks. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Upcoming trek to Senegal.
Thank you. I'm excited, and hopefully I'll be on here again and share more of that.
Oh, great, terrific. Paula, thank you for gracing our show today.
Of course, thank you so much, Tita.
Maraming salamat.
Salamat din.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, Paula.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you soon.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in this court.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of
what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
Yeah.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer that question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be someone to start that conversation.
Yeah. You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting and very popular, respected and renowned individual in our community. This woman is really very interesting, and she has been doing a lot of work in humanitarian contributions through medical mission. Her name is Miss Nora Chai. Do you know her? It's very
Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon, Vero.
Hi, Nora. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for this.
You have been around the community, the Filipino American Community of Chicago, and you are really doing a wonderful work out there serving the community.
Thank you.
And that work is as a medical missionary. Ms. Nora has been doing medical missionary work through the years. And let's hear from her because she's on her way to retirement, she's saying, and through all this work. Hi, Nora. Welcome to our show.
Hi, Cprtv. Thank you for giving me this privilege to be interviewed about our project in the Philippines.
Yes,
thank you.
I'm very thankful that you are gracing our show today. Nora, okay, can you please share with us some of the exciting and interesting experiences that you've done through medical mission?
Well, actually, this dream of being able to help our marginalized kababayans started when after graduation, I worked at the USC Charity Hospital in the pediatric section of the hospital. And I saw the poverty and the need of the people because they didn't have money to cover the expenses in the hospital. And I promised that if I will be lucky in the future to have the kind of funding, I'll be able to help them. And that's how it began. My commitment with the Philippine Medical Association of Chicago started in 2005. So that would be 25 years. So I've been joining their mission through the years. And then, of course, I adapted other projects, and we did outreach projects with my family members on a smaller scale. And it just, I guess, got bigger, better, and more fulfilling for the family. So, and the last one was actually after we had an accident in 2018, and I did promise, because we were survivors, that I would do payatas, which was in my bucket list anyways, and Baseco. So I was able to do that. Baseco was this year in February 16, 2025. And I think promises that I gave out to friends that I would do the mission, it has been fulfilled. And I think that's going to be my last one, because I'm already going to be 80 this year.
Well, yes, because you've been doing it through the years, and maybe you are really getting sick. I mean, really tired of doing this.
Oh, it's time for me to attend to our personal stuff, at home, and even start downsizing, I guess, and start moving and make life simple.
So professional, you are a nurse.
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention that. The bachelor's degree.
As a nurse. That's why you are doing a medical mission in your...
Oh, yes, I have to mention that. Yeah, I have a bachelor's degree from University of Santo Tomas. And I did work throughout in the ICU, CCU area of, in nursing. That's what I primarily did with my profession. Anyways, but then I sort of just joined the registry when I married Fred, so I was just registry or part-time through the years, maybe like working 2 days a week or once a week, just to keep my license in order.
All right. And so out of your retirement is when you thought of doing this philanthropic work, actually. And this is just for the Philippines, or what? Have you done other countries for your medical missions?
Not really. I was going to join the Bolivia group, but for some reason it did not happen. But my heart also was, if I have to go to another country, I would rather go to the Philippines and touch different areas in the Philippines, because we really, really need help. I mean, the people do need help as far as medical, surgical, even dental, even as simple as circumcision. There's just so much that the Filipino people can benefit from doing the mission in our country.
I think you're still young to retire from what you're doing.
Veronica, I'm going to be 80 this year.
You're still young. Look at you. You still look so pretty.
We will still continue to contribute, participate, but nothing big anymore, because this last one was actually our Thai medical, dental, and surgical mission. And it was really, it was successful, and it was really big. But I was lucky because we had a lot of good, dynamic donors and volunteers. So I couldn't have done it without them anyway. So it was really very fulfilling and a good experience, a very good experience for the family members who joined us, which is our children and grandchildren.
Yeah, you also have your children and in-laws, right?
Yes. Even our 4 years old was distributing goods, and she was became a different person. She's usually throw a temper tantrum, but in the mission, none of that. She was going around distributing goodies, snacks, loaf of bread. She was just simply happy doing it. And she asked me if I'm gonna do the mission again. Not not that she knows what mission really means, but she did ask me if we can do it again.
That's
So
very nice. A very good example to show your children and grandchildren how to help other people. And
yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
you have mentioned a little
That they
while.
will continue that.
Very good.
So, anyways, yeah, it is a good feeling that, you know, actually the I always say the phrase, and Brian actually wrote it down in the book that they wrote for about the mission. And I would summarize it by saying, this mission, even if you do the medical, giving the medicines, or well, the dental, which is good, but the surgical is more of a life-changing procedure for the kids because of the cleft lip or upper palate or removal of the tumor. And the goods distribution for me is actually just temporary in the sense that you just give them a good day for one day. And I always say it's like a speck of light that we are able to give to our kababayans because their lives they're living is dark. They're in the dark. And but for the people, they really what do you call it? A yearning for like food. So that one day doing the goods distribution is like fiesta for them. And to me, it's a speck of light that I give them to those lives who are in the dark. A lot of the children even go through garbage to look for food. So when you give them something good, like even simple carne norte, they'd say, sarap lola, kasi mas masarap kaysa sa basura. That I was told to me by a girl, and I always remember that.
Okay, you were talking earlier about these places that you went to, the Baseco and the Payatas. Can you please explain to our viewing audience what these places are in the Philippines?
Okay, make it quick. Payatas is known as the Smoky Mountain. Payatas was a garbage dump, and it became so huge, it's like a mountain or mountain hill. And a lot of the people do live on the base of the garbage, or most of them would live on top of the garbage because that is their source of livelihood. They do recycling, and a lot of them just live on top of the garbage dump. So it was emitting methane, so that's why they called it Smoky Mountain. But one day it erupted and then buried a lot of people. From what I understand, 700 people were buried alive, and that is Payatas. The garbage now has been moved to Montalban, so they have cleared up that area and it's fenced. So I don't know what the project is going to be for that one. And then Baseco is actually, I really don't know the details, but it's called Bataan Shipping Engineering Company, which was started by the Marcoses. And I guess it was maybe a dockyard, a shipping, or I don't know, maybe Philippines was doing business in Asia, or maybe I was even thinking maybe that was the time they were doing something with the Bataan project. And but then when Cory Aquino came into power, she sequestered the whole area. Then eventually, when the time for former President GMA, Cory Aquino sequestered, and then GMA took it back and then opened up the area for our kababayans to be able to reside there. I guess I don't want to use the word squatter, but they were allowed to live there, for free. So there was an influx of a lot of people from the south, and it became a residential community. But it is now the biggest poor urban community in the Philippines, Baseco, or They have port area and they have also Tondo. That's Baseco.
Is there some kind of a kind of a hill or mountain that they built, or to live in?
No, Payatas, no. It was all garbage dump. That's why it became parang, hindi naman mountain, but just, a big amount, many garbage disposals from different places. And so it became like a hillside. Now, Baseco, no, there's no mountain, or it's not a garbage dump area, but it's more residential area that it was open for the people of the Philippines to stay for free. So people came all over from the north, actually marami from Mindanao and the Visayas area.
And their daily living is by rummaging through the basura.
Yeah, the Baseco people. Sorry, Payatas people. Yes. That was their livelihood. They went through the garbage, and then they'll collect like plastic bottles, paper goods, that's being recycled. And of course, a lot of them, because they're hungry, they do search for food, leftover. So narinig mo yung, ano bang tawag doon, where they get the leftovers and then they stir fry it and then they sell it, or that's their food for the day. I forgot the term that they use, but they collect all the leftover food, like extra food from, McDonald's, Jollibee. Oops, sorry, I'm mentioning them, but something like that. I think you know the term. But anyway, so that was their livelihood.
I see. So, well, helping people like this, I'm sure really it makes a tug in your heart, and I really don't know how you could do it all these years, but must really be your humanitarian heart to be helping.
Yeah, it started many years ago, and actually I was able to involve the kids, and we did small scale outreach, doing Hospicio de San Jose orphanage, and I took them also to some poor areas like even Tondo, and we did also Gawad Kalinga, which is in Bulacan and Parañaque, and I am proud to say that we were able to help and build 50 homes for the people dislodged from the river of Marikina. And they were transferred to Towerville, which during our time, I think it's Sapangpalay. And those things happen without plans. It just happened. I guess I was meant to go back there and do something, because I did go to Sapangpalay when I was in senior year of my nursing profession.
What tips can you give to our viewing audience, or for those people who want to follow your footsteps?
Oh no. Many times I also say, what am I doing here? When you do this charity work in the Philippines, it's like I've asked myself too, what is the government doing about this? But if you really look around, even the United States, we do encounter homeless people. So putting that aside, I just thought I will just do the best I can to be able to make a difference in someone's life. Never mind about politics, government, or whoever. That is my personal agenda with Fred and my family. And because it is a satisfying experience, it just so meaningful. I can't explain it to you, but to see a smile of a kid who was eating like the small amount of pancit we gave him, it's so hard to describe. indescribable feeling. Happy. I'm really happy. Actually, that's why for many, many years, I really don't talk about our charity project with, for the most part, with the other people.
Well,
I
Nora,
just want to do it as, I call that, diba, we have purpose in our lives, you know. And when we had an accident, I think something was telling me that I have to give back more because we survived and we are alive. So.
all right, very good. Nora, I know you're
Yes,
very
ma'am.
I thank you for gracing our show today. So we're running out of time, and I congratulate you for doing the good deed that you're doing for the people of our community in the Philippines. And also, I've heard that you're going to be the recipient of the humanitarian award in this upcoming.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I will qualify. It's
Congratulations
okay.
ahead of
Reward
time.
or no reward, I will continue.
I want to tell our viewing audience that Nora was a recipient of our the ViaTimes Cprtv Hall of Fame twice already, and the last one was she was the Woman of the Year for the Chicago Filipino Asian American Hall of Fame. All right, Nora, good luck to you and congratulations.
Thank you for your friendship. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
And more blessings for the coming years for you.
More blessings for all of us. God bless.
Thank you.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in this court.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer that question.
Shouting revolution, while breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be someone to start that conversation.
Yeah. You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond
We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon. This is Brigitte, Carino, Cueter, bringing you this week's local news from our community. Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks returned a record $303.8 million in missing money to nearly 312,000 residents, businesses, and organizations through the iCash program during fiscal year 2025. Frericks marked the record-breaking total by presenting a check for more than $200,000 to the orphans of the Storm Animal Shelter in Riverwoods. The money came from a late Lake County woman who named the shelter as the beneficiary of her life insurance policy. We made common sense changes to iCash to return more money to more folks, and we are proud to set records. But we're even more proud of helping people. One of my biggest fights was to take on insurance companies to make sure life insurance benefits rightfully end up with the people and organizations they were left to. This gift represents a meaningful and impactful contributions to orphans of the storm and comes as the shelter approaches its 100th anniversary and is actively planning for the next century of compassionate animal care. The Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation announced today that 24 more professions are now available for licensure via the department's new online licensing system, CORE. Today's announcement marks the successful completion of CORE's Phase 2.3, with the final part of Phase 2 set for completion this summer. The department will announce when Phase 2 is completed, including which professions are added to CORE. Phase 2 focuses on adding license types to CORE that are currently exclusively available as paper applications and not through IDFPR's legacy online licensing system, which will eliminate the need of paper applications altogether, which require longer processing times to review all submitted materials. Individuals seeking their first license and whose professions are now available on CORE should utilize IDFPR's new licensing system to apply for licensure. The Supreme Court is allowing President Donald Trump to put his plan to dismantle the Education Department back on track and go through with laying off nearly 1,400 employees. With the 3 liberal justices in dissent, the court on Monday paused an order from U.S. District Judge Myung Jun in Boston, who issued a preliminary injunction reversing the layoffs and calling into question the broader plan. The layoffs will likely cripple the department, June wrote. A federal appeals court refused to put the order on hold while the administration appealed. The high court action enables the administration to resume work on winding down the department, one of Trump's biggest campaign promises. The court did not explain its decision in favor of Trump, as is customary in emergency appeals. The Board of Directors of the National Association of Counties called for the release of property characteristics data from the federal government last week, supporting a policy proposal by the Cook County Assessor's Office to improve assessment accuracy. This is the first time that NACO has passed a property assessment-related policy proposal. The resolution was approved unanimously during NACO's annual conference. The resolution, sponsored by Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi and Maricopa County Assessor Eddie Cook, announced calls for the Federal Housing Finance Agency, FHFA, to release its dataset of millions of property appraisals to 16 of the largest assessment offices in the country. Without incurring any extra cost, this data would provide assessors with a more accurate snapshot of residential property characteristics. Nationwide, property assessments tend to be regressive. This means that less valuable homes are overvalued, while expensive homes are undervalued. An urban search and rescue team from Illinois is headed to Texas overnight to assist with operations after deadly flooding this week. This group of 39 rescuers from fire departments deployed as part of the Mutual Aid Box Alarm System, MABAS, as USAR Task Force 1 will be on the ground in Texas for up to 14 days. IEMA OHS Acting Director Theodore Tedberger said, "This nationwide mutual aid agreement allows states to share resources and personnel during emergencies, and tasks for this operation include wide area search and rescue as well as debris pile clearance. Our hearts go out to everyone affected by this devastating tragedy and hope we can be of service." Illinois is one of close to 24 states offering assistance to flood-ravaged Texas. Just as many towns, cities, and counties in Illinois have agreements to assist each other in times of disaster, states have agreements to do the same, explained Berger. The newly appointed leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo, has been vocal in his criticism of Trump administration's immigration policies. Recently, he took to social media to rebuke Vice President J.D. Vance, calling him wrong regarding Christian teachings. Prior to his papacy, as Cardinal Robert Prevost, he criticized Vance on X for comments Vance made during a Fox News interview. Vance had justified the administration's immigration measures by referencing a Catholic concept known as Ordo Amoris, or Order of Love. J.D. Vance is wrong, the Pope said. Jesus never asked us to rank our love. The 69-year-old Pope shared his views on X, linking to a National Catholic Reporter article about the repercussions of Vance's statements. Observers are now closely examining the Chicago-born Pope's social media for insights into his political stances as the first American pontiff. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Brigitte. See you next time.